As a gamer, when video game companies slap a number on the end of their franchise to create this tricky thing called a sequel, I kinda have base expectations on what I'm getting. Obviously building off the last game, improving on what didn't work, and if possible, adding new great mechanics for me to fall in love with all over again. While Fallout 4 is by no means a perfect game, as it was stripped of a few of its finer RPG mechanics, Fallout 4 always has a special place in my heart to give me something really special: the settlement system. Being able to make a home all for yourself, or perhaps even getting high school memories, filling a city with people that hate your guts and take advantage of you.
What gave you the idea we're friends?
So it's time to answer the question that most likely never needed to be answered. Can you beat Fallout 4 with only settlements? Now, you must be asking what the hell that even means. I basically boiled it down to some basic and easy rules. I can only gather items within the comforting green square of death that my settlements are made of. This includes items that are crafted here, items in any sort of containers, and of course, the freestanding loot that was here before the settlement was even put up. Of course, this doesn't go for key items. A chunk of Kellogg's terrible memories can't really end up in a settlement for me. And of course, just to prevent the boring comments, I'm not allowed to carry any items in to try and say it's a settlement item. No. Bad. Lame. Comment about your favorite shoe brand. And with my basic restrictions put in place, enough stalling. We start with me trying to make myself, before I remember not only do I suck with character creators, so does Bethesda. Making myself 100% accurately, before I'm pretty happy with my abomination, just like my mother. Start my day with a totally healthy amount of caffeine. Get informed that my car's extended warranty is out and Mr. Sir needs the wacky numbers on the back of my credit card to fix the issue. Ignore my stats and name as things change before I leave the vault. The news keeps telling me the world is ending, scaring my wife enough that we start heading towards the vault. Me mostly unwillingly, but at least get early access to the new Marvel Rival skin. Before I get to ignore my crying child for the last time, to make the funny Jabba reference. Bang. And after laying dormant for thousands of years, give my wife a last look, as I remember I can't take a ring. Get to store my jumpsuit and ring to make sure I am indeed settlements only. Find out that Brawl Snake has definitely rubbed off on me more than I realized. I then do the idiot-proof method to be able to leave the vault without killing any red wretches. Except I mess it up. See the bugs enjoying my wife as I still try and leave. She's already dead, what are you doing? I then retrieve my Pit-Boy, feeding luck for crits and XP, charisma for base building perks, and endurance for HP related reasons. For some reason only loot half the first settlement, and once I'm dripped up, arrive to the Red Rocket for extra resources, getting a few rare healing commodities, enjoying the slow pace and the peace of building up resources before heading to my favorite settlement location, in hopes to... I lead all the rats to the diner, and with them no longer on my property, yoink it all for myself, and find an actual weapon just for me. Weapon, let's fucking go. That took an hour, let's do this. Turn the place to scrap, make the perfect spot to sleep for camping enjoyers, using it to get my health charged up, accidentally fat finger a valuable resource, find me another fine weapon, and with more than one pain giver in tow, it's back to my robot overlord to help deal with its glitches. And with the debugging state dealt with, my computer tells me my son, who I forgot was stolen, could probably be found in Concord. I grab what I can, and with the want to make the world my own rising, I find a settlement that needs my help. I'm friendly. I'm told that to own this place, I need to take out some raiders and retrieve the locket they stole. And if I do so, they owe me big time. So I start dealing with Remy and friends for a nice level up, and accidentally make sure the wrong set of raiders get taken care of. Becoming a little worse for wear, I make bed 2 at home, and for whatever reason, try and explore a place near the raiders I'm meant to take out, before remembering I can't loot anything here. So I leave, and now it's time to enact justice or something. So I take out the dog, make John Wick a 30-minute movie, and break my way in. And this pipe wrench actually isn't half bad. Not as good as a minigun, but hey, not half bad. I then bust out my metal pipe of choice to make sure the minigun isn't an issue, and thanks to the yummy carbonated drinks of death that give me life, the raiders are cleared out. The locket can be given to the farmers, and an idiot savant can put them to work. And make sure they realize that they are now under new management. I also save scum my way into another 4 level ups, steal all the veggies they have, pick up the local leader and lone wanderer perks, grind XP from crafting a wire fence many times. I can't show you it as it hurts my eyes going from this to this many times a second. I then sleep a bit, put hooks on my pipe wrench, which somehow makes it more damaging, and also enjoy the Stardew Valley gameplay of making water and food that will spawn in my workshop, before scrapping the rest of Abernathy Farms, collecting all the great items they have for me, and after gathering another few helpful perks, it's time to explore a dead game, as I proceed to Concord all over the place. The Museum of Freedom is just as easy to clear out, where I find out my robot was right, and my long-lost son Preston Garvey is here, and he and his friends need my help, telling me if I had a fusion core, I could get the power armor and the minigun on the roof. But I first ride the sewer slide, and just like any disgruntled father, show my son that you don't need this newfangled technology, when I have effort, elbow grease, and a gun. The Raiders still continue to disappoint me, insert another father joke here, before it's time to deal with the real challenge, that being the Deathclaw. Or rather, the challenge would be the Deathclaw, if it wasn't for the power of F5, and these amazing not made by me walls, that protect my soft destructible flesh, and even when I take a scrap or two, drinking water, like you should using GamerSubs, use code LB for 10% off, fixing any issues I've ever had right away. My pipe pistol at least helps in keeping me distracted, and soon enough, as if some form of miracle by the heavens, like any challenges in my life, the Deathclaw finds themselves stuck on the terrain. Why does this always happen to me? Why in every game that I play? Am I gonna abuse the shit out of it? Yes. A few dozen metal pipe sound effects later, the Deathclaw breaks free, but thanks to me charging up a crit, the Deathclaw is out of the equation. And now it's time to take every granny, woman, and Garvey to the new working grounds, make it OSHA Watt approved, so it can be time for me and my child to bond. Oh, a settlement? It's in need of help? Oh, I'd love to. So I restock on Sippies and Yum Yums, have an embarrassingly long fight with a rad bug, mostly because it parried every single strike of mine for about a minute straight, until it finally gives up to make me feel better about myself, making me sleep back at home, and in the morning, get a Texas breakfast in 10 Pine Bluff. And with me now being gun-shaped, to make it up to the settler, they need me to remove a raider gang from a nearby Corvega assembly plant. It started a bit spooky with the damage the turrets can put out, but after getting toughness and the Nest from Undertale perk, raiders go down in a single swing, and the scum go down just as fast. My least favorite iteration of Joker gets rightfully taken down, and it's time for me to take my leave. I then find a better weapon I can't take. Oh, but it's made of mahogany. I didn't set up that joke and you have no way to prove it. And after doing one small task, become the owner of this farm and get given a 100 cap paycheck, a surprise tool that will carry me later, and also get given what we can call garbage. Reset the reward until I get Idiot Savant XP, and somehow already become the leader of the Minute Fellas after less than a day of being a somewhat decent individual. Get another settlement pack of water before getting a talking to.
Take care of your gun, it'll take care of you.
Bro, I wield a wrench with hooks on it. Shut up. And making my way to a colony that requires my assistance. The supervisor, who happens to be white, needs help making their farm better by me clearing out the nearby water plant.
Marvelous, simply marvelous.
After telling them in a while crocodile, I find out this water plant is filled with mutants, lamp oil, rope, bombs. I then take the chance to use some of my rare resources, and bombs, so I get an assist on a sewer slider to make sure the bombs aren't an issue, and while the parry game is strong with these ones even outside of that, the super mutants are really just pushovers. Hi, how's your day going? Doing good? Okay. The inside had a bad case of walk past all the annoying ass enemies and empty the water out of the place before kinda just walking out, and get rewarded with Play-Doh Deathclaw that slowly gains its scales out of fear, while also gaining the reward of caps, servitude, and the supplies Grey Garden has to offer me. So I give the robots a pet for their sacrifice, transfer the scrap to the main business, keep getting more sippables, and thanks to the fertilizer from Grey Garden, I can stuff my pockets with the only upper I need. And with my growing cops, can make infinite stacks of adhesive at the cost of time. Keep F5ing and F9ing until I get Idiot Savant XP for saving Grey Garden.
You ask me, freedom's always worth fighting for.
Yeah, man, me too. Until Preston Garvey wins and I give up. Get told it's time for the next big step in our Minecraft playthrough, being told I'll need to be focused and ready. So I become a bigger idiot and a larger savant, make my wrench 2% better, becoming focused by getting distracted by killer robots on the trip over, and the scavengers I save turn on me for no reason. get sick of fighting this rad crab for so long I actually sneeze in real life. Blech. I then make my way to the castle, finding Preston trying to act cool near the explosion before he isn't trying, he just is. I'm here with the last few minute men to take out Mr. Krabs, his weird green cousins, and his many children. The base Mirelurks aren't that big of a deal, and the egg breaking is fairly simple, even if it seems my son is unwilling to help. Something like that. And while making this omelet, the queen of breakfast comes in to steal it all for herself. Quickly deal with a freaky fast distraction. Dang it, I got distracted because someone sent me Jimmy John's lore. Fuck. And I find the problem with making a full melee build. Okay, my head gone. With little to no fun bang bang ammo to my name. The Minutemen I have left are surprisingly helpful, so I just try and keep the attention of the Queen to keep them safe for their own potshots. Before finding out about its AoE and DOT abilities. I also find some great items I can't use yet, as this isn't my settlement, so that's neat. I then distract the Queen in third person to dodge the poo-poo stains and see the hatchlings coming. But thanks to my scaredy cat approach, I get no XP for the Queen falling. My character totally not having a crash out because of it. I then power up our kingdom, and with our kingdom come, I store all these busted items for later, get to use the Minutemen's signature water gun, upgrading it for the pretty much one time I actually find it useful, become a giver of self-life, and get back to the settlement grind to make a shop. And while it doesn't have anything useful, fun, or third thing, thanks to my infinite amount of resources, at the cost of time of course, I now have a pretty good way to get caps, to slowly yet slowly make better and better shops, even if it comes with a side of sass.
What gave you the idea we're friends?
Someday, but not today.
So I make every settlement I have into a mini healing and cap farm, selling enough items to finally get an armor stand, spend another in-game 24 hours for supplies to be able to finally get a full set of leather armor, and that paired with one rank of toughness, it's enough for me to be better protected than any of my UPS packages. So it's time to leave.
I hope you find your son.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down. For more castle crashing, as what is basically said to be the Grandma Minuteman comes to give me a hand. I try and show her to the clinic, so I can get a few more caps. Where's the clinic? I forget where the clinic is. Shit. Like over somewhere yonder. Right here. Nope. Right. Nope. Right. Over. I just wanted to show you over here, but it's like over here. It's right there. The bugs that took the place over get taken out by the landmines scattered about, and my pea shooter can find its only useful place here and now, as it's time for Captain v Sarge. A fight that starts calmly enough. That was the scariest sound I've ever heard in my entire life. We find out the hard way that the Sarge has a built-in nuh-uh mechanic. So Grandmama and I start up take 2, getting chased back into a wall-less room, causing me to get Android 16'd a second time. The third time I'm able to do it without the birds, and my reward is a terrible artillery blueprint, but at least better weapons, such as a Fat Man, better laser musket, and one big boom boom for emergencies. Ronnie seems way too excited for me to craft garbage in weapon form, so I get what I need, and only after more cap grinding, and remembering to grab all the cool items I stored at the castle, mostly for selling reasons, I build the artillery that I never used once, find out that Preston is just a chill guy. I then get honestly kind of lost in doing settlement related shenanigans. I then kind of honestly get a little distracted doing settlement related shenanigans. I can't lie, I just love survival games, and it's just very cathartic to not only help myself get better gear, but also help these pixels known as NPCs that pretend to be real and call me their friend. Yeah. Now that we can generously call the setup out of the way, it's story shotgunning time. Rushing to Park Street Station to save Nick Valentine's sorry middle caboose, and thanks to my ability to buy ammo. Alright, sorry. I built a weapon stand ran by Marge Simpson.
Let me know what.
I can buy .38 ammo for cheap, and also get bits of metal armor, which does basically pipe wrench damage from afar. And this basic pistol you can find in a trash can, forest floor, or bandit corpse does the same amount of damage as a heavily upgraded Minutemen weapon. So that's comforting. But the Triggermen still stand no chance against my wrench, which makes getting into the vault to find Nick anything but a problem. And my backlog of water and dry-aged rad fruit lets me crunch the skull of the Suitmen and my favorite kind of nuggy to make sure that Nick Valentine is safe. Outside of the fact that this synthetic, not real robot man smokes a cigarette, I'm happy to meet him.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
And thanks to his emote game being on point and my fighting being peak, we almost make it out. Outside of getting stopped by Skinny Malone. Accidentally convinced Darla that men actually have cooties, and with the day saved for Nick, he says he owes me one. His assistant tries to give me some anti-drip and caps that get dropped immediately, so to pay me back instead, I ask him to find the man who shot my wife. Getting told the serial overlord lived in town, and since I can't break in, need the key from the mayor. The game tried to make me talk to Piper. Mayor Donut says no, but his assistant says yes. So with the key in hand, and the game really trying to get me to talk to Piper, get to hit the small red button to find his spare room. Valentine shows off his musical skill, and replace my Nick with a new dog, who helps me take on the wildlife and leads me to Fort Hagen. And before entering, make sure to load up on healing, jet, and do enough trading to put a banana in Preston's pocket. And make weapons store too, for the ability to buy Bubble Daryl, upgrade it for damage and crits, before I rush Fort Hagen and farm up crits on the synths. My combo of shotgun and wrench are able to clear the path to Kellogg, and deal with Mr. Honeysmacks the way God intended. With that easily taken care of, gather some bad memories out of his brain, get to see the POS fly in, before asking Nick for Favor 2 Electric Boogaloo. Find out this Kellogg was made from an institute, and that this institute is a settlement that doesn't need my help, which angers me. The game once again wants me really badly to talk to Piper, before I get a small upgrade, and head to Good Neighbor with Nick, as we can use this chunk of brain I stole to make a brain dance for us to see. Only to learn that this institute has slash cheats turned on, and Doc tells me that a guy named Virgil in the glowing sea should be able to help me get inside. I grab some spare heals, as it's the glowing sea. I ignore my broken textures and slurp down a red X for my rad problems, making it to a town, getting told that Dante's brother is in a cave nearby, and I inform him, the fuck was that? And I inform him Kellogg is dead, and I need help to do the same to the Institute. He agrees, saying I need a Corsair chip to help him further, so my settlement doctor derads my health bar, get back into the money-making mindset, find out that caltrops actually have a use in selling them in bulk. As for only 5 steel, I can sell something worth about 13 caps. To make Gun Store 3, scrapping my old shops to be able to get bottle caps back, and get rewarded with an iron sword. Make my sword into a bootleg flamberge, and track down the Corsair. The place is filled to the brim with gunners, and with my new bleeding sword, it's pretty easy. Just kinda keep swanging and swanging and swanging, before realizing the problem with capitalism. That being my greed for caps has left me with few heals for this climb, slowly burning through the scraps I brought, leaving me with no heals by the time I get to the Corsair. Just to try things out, I attempt to see if I'm able to take him on without any heals, and surprisingly, get closer than I honestly should be able to. So I load up on the drugs I brought instead. The boost in damage and damage resistance make what is usually a tough fight into a very sad display of technology. But I don't get the Idiot Savant boost, so I do it again, until I get more undeserved levels, find out the female synth can be hit through the window, get a much needed batch of my workers' food, Preston continued to be chill. I got the shit on for real. Get cool Beretta wannabe, do a bit more heal farming, before Doctor says only one guy can figure out what's on the chip. Meaning I need to get to Thomas T. Engine's friends, past the ghoul-filled waters, totally don't mess up the easy puzzle 3 times, before getting to talk to the railroad.
Answer my riddles 3.
Guy with sunglasses said I'm cool, so the railroad let me right in for this chip to get scanned. While Virgil has been making the blueprints that I needed to teleport into the Institute. Preston makes me pinky promise that I'll go save settlements after Sturgis builds it for me, before getting enough caps to make the next max level shop.
Need armor?
Okay, that one was just straight up Marge, you shut up. And try to get the special key items from my settlement. And after a while, I can finally get the biometric scanner, but after about an hour or so of resetting and not getting the military grade motherboard, I grab it from the quest marker as it is technically a key item. Sturgis dematerializes me, and once I'm in, I download the secret cookie recipe from the homework folder, find a child in a cage, and finding the man responsible for making a better settlement than me gets me taken out quickly. Take out the robots to make sure the place is worse off before I teleport back out, and tell Garvey that I'm ready to help settlements. I'm told by him and the settlers to take care of the, and I quote, greenskins, so with the dank deed done, and the NPC seemingly excited, do another just as easy settlement task, and begin doing what I think will be the last set of selling goods and buying some better weapons. I go to the castle to obtain more water, find out the Institute is coming to attack, so I start using all my new weapons for my settlement, as I accidentally brought plenty of heals for it.
Nice.
But after dealing with animation lock, and being simply outgunned even with my new better weapons, while also dealing with the fact that my arms can break, and since my only healing source doesn't actually heal my limbs, the only way I can heal my limbs is by using time. And since the secret room can hold a bench during the midst of war, I can simply just wait an hour and bam, limbs back. Slowly yet slowly getting more and more cleared, even if my lack of water causes death. So again, during the midst of war, go back out for even more healing and a few extra energy bullets. I now have enough confidence and supplies to fully stop the Institute's attack and get the reward of a happy Preston. And with the purchase of a Gaussing Gauss rifle, and making and buying enough supplies to have enough emergency ammo for this emergency weapon, I feel ready to tell Sturgis that it's time for this Institute to fall. I'm then told the location of the super secret entrance, think I've made a mistake as I almost die to a singular turret, but the rest of the enemies are low level synths. So I bring in the time fellas, homies, and get given the big boom that should bury this place. Get told I should make sure everyone gets out. Aww. Optional. I then get sick of using my super cool hammer and instead pull out the funny energy rifle. Try and take down the enemies before the monkeys can get released. Okay. No, monkey, please, I don't want to do this. Monkey. Before getting forced to show them how we do it down in Cincinnati. Wave after wave of synths slowly go down, while slowly draining my bullets and heals one last time, scaring me to show them hammer time once again, and after hacking down the defenses, start making my way to the reactor. And with the stress of almost no healing in my pocket, I talk down to the new staff. You don't ask questions like that, rookie. Rush the reactor, place the boom boom toy, and F-Team teleports us back out. Get to be Woody to Buzz to tell the synth, you are a toy. Get shown that Bethesda is lame, tell something very important to my best friend.
Man, that's crazy.
For it's time to press the big red button. Make my PC shudder as I hit F5. And with the Institute gone, meaning I have the best settlement, and getting Idiot Savant to activate just one last time, I finish the game, and prove that very easily, and while having quite a lot of fun, yes, you can beat Fallout 4 with only settlements. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, show your support however you see fit, and not as always, bad this.